Hey guys, Jay here, welcome to Eons of Battle. 40k is expensive and Games Workshop's pricing schemes make absolutely no sense. So here are my 5 best value kits and the 5 worst. The Games Workshop website is a strange web of weirdness, with kits that are 3 days old and 30 years old. And the prices given are completely incomprehensible. Like, why is a Primaris Captain $35, but the Primaris Captain in Phobos armor is $36? Where did that extra dollar come from? Is it from this little guy? I have absolutely no idea. My top 5 list will have the best possible value for your money, in my opinion, and the 5 worst will be just awful investments. Also, this is not a mathematically perfect list with graphs and charts. This is just my picks. So, here we go. For my first pick, I choose Warhammer 40,000 Recruit Edition and Warhammer 40,000 Elite Edition. These are an obvious pick, and I promise the rest will be more interesting, but these are just great value. And Games Workshop did this on purpose, obviously. These are the getting into Warhammer 40k boxes and should be good value. My pick would be the Recruit Edition, because that $50 is really the sweet spot in terms of price. 2 friends could take a risk on a $50 game. For $100, you gotta know what you're doing. No one accidentally drops a hundo. At $50, you get 10 warriors, which Games Workshop in their infinite wisdom sells separately for $45. Yeah, for $5 more, you get a Royal Warden, a Necron HQ, a Space Marine Sergeant, and 5 Space Marine Intercessors. That's a deal. And if you can splurge for the Elite Edition, you're getting the 10 Warriors at $45 value, 5 Intercessors at $30 value, 3 Outriders for $60, 3 Scorpek Destroyers for $55, a Space Marine Commander, and a Necron Overlord. And those 2 aren't even available yet, but when they are, they will be 35s, so slap another $70 on that. $260 of retail product in a $99 box. Kinda makes you wonder what this stuff really costs. For my second pick, I'm going with the Start Collecting Daemons. This is another value through volume. It's $150 of product for $90, and there are some Start Collectings that are in the similar boat, but the Daemons box hits a little harder. You could say it slaps. You get some bomb-ass models, particularly the Pink Horrors, which are just sweet. If you want to learn how to paint skin, this is a good way to do it. And the Screamers of Tzeentch. Lightning struck when these models came out. On the sprue, it's dated at 2011. 9 years old, and if you drop these on Warhammer community today, no one would bat an eye. They look that good. You also get Flamers and a Herald of Tzeentch, and a Burning Chariot. What's not to love? Next on my list, the Dark Apostle. This one I picked because it might be one of the best models Games Workshop makes. These sculpts are sick. And you get 3 awesome dynamic and grimdark guys. For $35, that's not too bad, considering $35 could get you this bland ass guy. 3 lovely Chaos Worshippers is a bargain. This is a model that I would love to paint. And I would also like to tack on one more to this third pick because it's my video and I can do what I want. Blackstone Fortress Cultists of the Abyss. It's 8 Chaos Cultists for $25. That's great. This is perfect for kill team. You get a Flamer and a Heavy Stubber, and even if you don't play, this is just a good way to get some bad guys to paint. I mean, look at this guy. He's an absolute legend. Next up, the Kroot Carnivores. This one shocked me when I was browsing the Games Workshop web store. They're sold in 16. That doesn't even make sense. Nothing else is sold in 16. You don't get 16 Orc Boys, you don't get 16 Tyranid Ormagants, and they're good models. If you scraped off some of the techie bits on the guns, you could fit right into a bunch of different games. They have nice dynamic poses, good detail. If you want 16 Bird Lizard Warriors, you know where to get them. And last but not least, for the value kits, I nominate the Orc Loota Burna kit. Now this one is not amazing on its own, but if you can add some more Orc Boy body parts, and Orc players, we have some extra body parts laying around, let's be honest, it becomes an amazing kit. With more legs and torsos, you can build 4 Lootas, 4 Burnas, a Spanna, an Orc Boy with Big Shooter, and an Orc Boy with Rocket Launcher. It's the Swiss Army Orc box, and the Spanna could just as easily be a mech if you just say so, because they look almost exactly the same. And that's one more unit you can get out of this box. It's quality. Those are the best value kits I could find. Now on to the worst. This list was a lot easier to come up with. Here are the 5 worst value kits from Games Workshop in my opinion. Number 1, Robert Girlyman. Rabute Gilliman. I've seen this model in person. It's tiny. Why is he $60? Gazgul Mag Uruk Thraka is $65, which is a lot too, but at least he's the size of a grapefruit. Rabute is the size of a grape. He's a head and shoulders taller than a Primaris Marine. Also, he looks like a gold gilded Buzz Lightyear. That doesn't have anything to do with his value, I just think he looks silly. He's a tiny little model that does not fill up his 60mm base he's supplied with. He's my first pick, moving on. Number 2, Ephrael Stern and Kyganil. This is a 2-pack for $50, and $25 a piece for characters ain't bad by Games Workshop standards, but you don't get them separately, you must buy them together. And it's a Sister of Battle and an Eldar. I get that they're from a book and that's cool, but for the rest of us, it's a Sister and an Eldar. To the Sisters of Battle players, the Eldar guy has no value, and to the Eldar players, the Sister of Battle lady has no value. But they're shackled together. Neither can be bought at a reasonable price while the other is there. It just doesn't make any sense. You can buy Inquisitor Eisenhorn without having to buy Tau Commander Shadowsun, because obviously that's how it should be. Number 3, the Adeptus Mechanicus Sydonian Dragoons. This one personally hurt me. I tried to get into Skitarii when they came out in 2017. I bought a pair of these things and they were way too much model for their rules. It's a big ass model that costs 55 bones, but in game it's a little 45-point cavalry unit. It's not that exciting. I would have needed at least 6 of these things, and that's way more money than I wanted to spend. These should have been at least 2 per box, like the Baby Knights. But being a squad unit sold in singular just puts this in a really awkward spot. I ended up selling mine. Number 4, this Primaris Lieutenant. The Primaris Lieutenant is probably the plainest unique character out there. Games Workshop sells a small handful of these guys, and each one has a little something special about it. The Blood Angels has a neat sword and a little dick towel. The Dark Angels has a spooky robe and a plasma pistol, but the vanilla Lieutenant is completely plain. Why buy this when you could easily kit bash it out of a normal Primaris Marine? It's also kind of an awkward pose. He's not pointing with his sword or swinging it, he's just kind of holding it up. There's just nothing there that jumps out at me with this model. It looks pretty lame. It wouldn't stand out in a crowd, and it can be yours for $35. Number 5, all the Assassins. When these guys dropped, they were expensive as hell. Unfortunately, everything has since risen up to meet them in price. But even in 2014 when it dropped, these were insane. And these guys are regular human size, so they are absolutely tiny models. They are insanely small, and to cost more than any other HQ at the time is maddening. More than a Space Marine Captain, more than an Orc Warboss, more than a Necron Overlord. These little noodles were and are absolutely unacceptably priced. Oh, and also, they are an example that Games Workshop is in fact sexist. The 3 male assassins all cost $36, but the only woman assassin costs $4 less. It seems the glass ceiling is alive and well at ye olde Games Workshop. That's just so weird. Why would she cost $4 less? These models are unbelievably small and unbelievably expensive, and it hurts because I really want to get them and paint them up. But not $140 for the set. They should be sold all together for $45. You know what? I'm feeling generous to Games Workshop. $50. But as is, they are just ridiculous. Ooh, that was rough. I should have ended with the good stuff. Now I just feel empty inside. But those were my picks for the best and worst Games Workshop models out there. Age of Sigmar is a little cheaper. Maybe when I figure that game out, I could do another list. In addition to the occasional spicy opinion piece, we make wargaming tutorials each and every week, and if you want more, the best way to support us is over on Patreon. Over there, you'll get to vote on what I paint live on YouTube, some behind the scenes, and other exclusive content. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.